Hi, I'm Drew Fulton. I'd like to welcome you to Filming Florida's Behind the Lens. Today I'm standing in my backyard in the rain because I'm re-recording a session I did a couple days ago. And the session, after all, I'm talking about audio recording, and my audio was totally screwed up on that recording. So had to throw it out, do it again. So here we are today. We've got a front moving through. I'm gonna have to be quick. Basically, what I want to talk to you today is how to record synced sound. And what I mean by that is how I'm recording audio and video of the same subject at the exact same time. So here I have my bird set up. It's a long telephoto lens. And the most important thing you need when recording audio, the biggest thing to think about, is you want to match your audio to your video, or vice versa, depending on what your focus is. So in this case, we've got a telephoto lens. We're working very tightly, so we need a microphone that's going to isolate our sound and focus on a small area. So we're using a shotgun microphone, which focuses basically straight ahead and ignores the stuff on the side, for the most part. So what I've got here is I've got the shotgun microphone with some wind protection mounted in what's called a lyre mount. It helps reduce vibrations and keeps all the vibrations from the camera movement to translating into the microphone itself. It's mounted on a Wimberley flash bracket, which is something I already owned and already had from shooting flash. Now we're really starting to rain, so I'm going to be quick. Basically what you want is I'm recording the sound directional. Because it's set up on the flash bracket, as I pan, my microphone is always pointing at my subject, which is really handy. The microphone is mounted up away from the lens, and I can actually mount it about 6 inches higher. And that's important because if you use vibration reduction or image stabilization on these big lenses, you can hear the motor running inside. So you want to get the microphone away from the camera. Now, there's two options to actually record with this microphone. One, I can run it straight into the camera and using a XLR to a 1/8 headphone jack, and that works fairly well. I've run into some problems with the cable itself. I feel like it's a pretty flimsy cable. So what I end up doing now is I record directly into an external recorder that hangs here on the tripod. And from there, I've got my headphones so I can monitor the recording, and then it runs back out and back into the camera. And this makes life really easy because my external audio recorder and my in-camera audio are perfectly synced because it's, one is a derivative of the other. Now, it also means in post-processing, 99% of the time, or 90% of the time probably, I'm using the recording that's in the camera. If I really need to do some serious work to it, if I need to, remove some background noise or a generator in the background or something like that, I'll go to the audio from the external recorder. But it gives me a good chance to have places in two recordings, a really high quality recording and a recording that's good for most everything. So that's how I shoot with a long lens and a shotgun microphone. Now the other thing to think about is what I do when I'm shooting a landscape with a wide angle lens. So I'm going to send you out to the field yesterday when I actually had a successful recording of that session on how I shoot with a wide angle lens. We'll see you there. So now I'm set up to photograph and film in this sort of palmetto scrub. There's a lot of palms, some are tall, some are low. It should be an interesting place to film. And since I'm filming wide angle, I've got a different microphone. I've got a stereo wide angle microphone. Again, we've got this fuzzy thing to muffle any wind. Probably don't need it today, but it tends to just live on there. So we'll put it back on. Now, the difference between filming wide angle and telephoto is really not all that much. I've got a stereo microphone, as I said, instead of telephoto. Everything's a little bit simpler. And this microphone in particular is set up to be powered by a 9-volt battery inside, and it's set up, designed to be on camera and mounted and plugged in directly to the camera. So the camera acts as my recorder. And that's all we've got. It's nice and simple. We're able to pan and tilt and do everything that we would do visually, and that will also translate to how we're recording and documenting the soundscape of the scene. So next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about how we document and record a soundscape. And I'm going to show you how I do that using a dedicated system to ambient recording that has nothing to do with a camera. It's something that I set up and leave and let it run while I'm doing other things. So we'll see you next week, where I take you behind the lens.